and concentrate, think nothing else but the game, and be their presence.
And do you detect some nervousness from the teenager?
Yes, I do.
We can see that with him fidgeting with his fingers.
Yeah, he's trying to get focused. That's how Abdusattorov has risen to the top of world chess so quickly. He's got extreme focus when he's in the flow, in the zone. But meanwhile, we're off. It's a King's Pawn opening. Nakamura only needs a draw, so he's happy to repeat the Berlin defense and to straight down the same opening variation. Judith, are you surprised by this?
I'm extremely surprised by this, that to go into this line again, it was not so fantastic, was it?
It was not so fantastic, but it's Nakamura who is the first to deviate, choosing a slightly different variation, ultimately, however, ending up in a similar pawn structure. So the only difference between the dancing around so much and the fact that there's an extra set of minor pieces on the board. Still, the Berlin is rock solid, and out of everyone at the top of world chess, I think Hikaru is the one who's had this position, this variation, the most. He knows everything there is to know. Nodirbek needs something special to imbalance this game.
Well, I'm curious what will be a4 on the board. It seems like Nodirbek really likes to play on the queen side with the pawns. And interestingly enough, a5 stopped the white pawn. It's also, you can see that Nakamura doesn't like it when there is these push pawns and the space is taken away from him.
Yeah, top level these days, it's all about pushing rook's pawns. If one side pushes, the other side normally blocks. And talking of block, this is pretty much completely symmetrical, the pawn structure. The only difference being that white's rook sits on the only open file.
Is g4 possible now? No, not g7. I thought there is a trap.
So close, the black knight actually does retreat back to g7 anyway. Only one safe square, but good enough. Yeah. Next move, Nakamura is getting ready to bring one of his pieces out to f5, so that has been prevented by knight g3, or has it?
But it's interesting because usually these kind of positions is with one pair of knights are exchanged already. And right now it's a question whether white is allowing this or he moves away.
And he allows that trade. And David, didn't you have a similar game when you played against AlphaZero? Something, at least a similar pawn structure.
Yeah, almost identical pawn structure. I've had this many times myself, white-black, but normally, as Judah mentions,
impossible. It was developing to d7 and then a few moves later it's back on c8. and it has no way right now in the next 1 or 2 moves to develop.
And your queen has moved to d2, which means that knight g4 is now a possibility, as well as this h5 idea. Ooh, it's looking unpleasant for Hikaru.
Just the last 4 or 5 moves, ever since that bishop retreat, it's all turned against him. Abdusattorov has swung this game in his favour. He's dominant on the dark squares, loving these white pawn chains on dark squares now, and black is just too passive. He needs to break out, but how to do that?
Yes, because it's not only the c8 bishop, but the a8 rook is also stuck there.
Yeah, this rook cannot get out, the bishop cannot get out. Okay, he steps back with the black knight.
Well, probably that was the only move, or somehow trying to get out.
He covers his diagonal with his bishop, but it was given a question mark, this knight move, and that's because white has stepped forward. h5, h6 is coming. The black king is already being trapped. A mating net is being weaved around it. Already it feels so scary.
It certainly does, and I'm not a big fan of Hikaru closing the tension in the center, because this simply gives white a completely free hand on the king side.
The white queen can come in. Do you use this square f4? Do you use g5? It feels like one of these queen moves must be strong.
g5.
I think f4.
I was thinking g5 because then you can sack.
Yeah, this is the same reason I want to go queen f4, because after queen d6, knight g6.
Yes, that's what I wanted as well, but okay.
But maybe it doesn't work because check on e1 and queen g6.
Well, there's some tactics.
Well, queen f4.
This is the launch pad for him. The white queen needs 2 moves to sneak in and checkmate on the g7 square. Can Hikaru block this off or delay it?
Queen d6.
Oh, there must be tactics in the air. The black queen can cover the white queen's infiltration square on f6, but...
Well, actually, after queen d6, maybe knight c4 is possible.
Tactics.
And takes.
The white knight will jump out the way with the discovery. Will we see this? Yeah, you're thinking knight takes pawn there. Judith looks very tempting.
Because I want to tie at the end with rook e8 all the pieces.
Yeah.
But there's also no threat for black. There's no good developing move, so you can just take the liberty of moving your king up to
f6 might be a move.
Right.
But already then you want to take on g6.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now the question is queen d6 or queen b6?
And, well, Hikaru Nakamura under 2.5 minutes on the clock. I think queen b6 would be safer in the grand scheme of things. But Hikaru...
But then knight c4. Knight c4 really works.
Position, yes. Look at f5. Oh, he's